Hello future investors and welcome back to another weekly episode. Today I want to talk to you about why I am no longer going to be stacking any fractional gold. So am I really not going to be stacking any more fractional gold? Yeah, I think that's the truth, and the what I believe is the plan for my future stacking goals. Now, the second question I know you're probably thinking is why? Why am I no longer going to be stacking fractional gold? Well, I feel like I fulfilled my purpose when it comes to fractional gold. I started off my investment journey with small gold bars such as these. Well, actually, my very first investment was these 1 gram gold bullion bars from the Royal Mint. Now, they were a fantastic investment. They, not necessarily for the aspect of financial reasons, but for the reasons that they got me started into precious metals. And if I hadn't have started investing in precious metals, then I would have never started this YouTube channel as Future Investments. I would have never have met you guys and been part of this wicked community. So I have a lot of sentimental value towards these 1 gram gold bars. Now, my first big purchase, that I considered at the time, was this 5 gram gold bar, which I bought around 2 years ago. At the time, I think I paid around £250 for it. It seemed like a crazy investment at the time, as I was still new to precious metals, very new. So it was a big deal for me at the time. But I like it. I've got another 5 gram gold bar, but it's actually a pump bar. And then I eventually started moving on to slightly bigger bits of fractional gold, such as these 1/4 ounce gold Britannias. This one was from Bullion by Post, and the reason I know that is because the packaging, in terms of the capsule, is actually quite poor in my opinion. Whereas when you compare it to the Royal Mint's capsules, they're so much better. The substantialness and the quality of them is just very, very strong. Now, yes, you do pay more when you buy from the Royal Mint usually, but you know what they say. You get what you pay for when it comes to quality and stuff like that. Not always true, but in that case it clearly is. I'm not talking on behalf of all bullion dealers though, because there is a lot of good bullion dealers out there that I'm sure also put their coins and bars in very good solid capsules. Now, why am I no longer going to be buying fractional gold? Well, like I said, I think I fulfilled my stacking goals. I'm not really going to go into detail of how much and how many pieces of fractional gold I have, but I have completed, I would say, what I wanted to achieve in terms of fractional gold. I will say that I like even numbers. I don't particularly like buying precious metals and then having, say, just 3 1/4 ounce gold Britannias like this. It annoys me. So I like to have doubles or quadruples or multiples of 4, or the only time I would have an odd number is to round it up to a nice sort of 5. But yeah, so I had a figure in mind of my individual fractional gold of what I wanted duplicates and multiples of. And I would say I've finally reached that. And now it's time to, take some of my money and actually move it onto bigger investments, such as 1 ounce gold Britannias. And I can give you an example of what I'm talking about by showing you my 1 ounce gold Britannia here, which is a King Charles III piece from the Royal Mint, and I actually got it in this blister pack. So a very beautiful piece, and I feel like I'm ready to move on to the bigger pieces. And it's a better investment in terms of getting more for your money, because you get more weight in terms of gold and silver the bigger you buy. I'm happy with my fractional stack. I feel like they're a very good sort of weight to have because they're extremely liquid. If I ever needed money, for example, hopefully I won't for this case, but if I needed to sell any precious metals, I wouldn't want to have to dip into my 1 ounce gold Britannia and sell that off and lose all of my investment that I put into that. Whereas I could take just one of these 1/4 ounce gold Britannias and take it away and get a really good amount of money for it, and it would give me probably all of the money that I need without losing me any more investment if I was to do it, say, with a 1 ounce bar. So I'm not saying that I wish I never had fractional gold, because I actually love it. A lot of people have a love-hate with fractional gold, and me personally, I really like fractional gold. I always recommend it to people when I'm talking to new investors about maybe dipping into getting some gold, because it's a good way without being too intimidated with spending big money, which can put a lot of people off because, for example, this King Charles III quarter ounce gold Britannia, I think it cost me, difficult to remember off the top of my head, but I believe around £450, let's say. So slightly more than I should have paid because I got it direct from the Royal Mint. However, I'm in this for the long term, so I do see that outweighing, the negatives of that. But it's still a substantial amount of money. But how can you tell a new investor, somebody who's never bought gold before, to go out and straight away go, buy a 1 ounce gold Britannia for over 1,600 quid, etc. I mean, they're just not going to do it. Not unless they really have said to you, I want to buy gold and I'm doing it. What should I buy? I will spend whatever you tell me. That's just so unlikely, isn't it? And it's not really realistic. Most people kind of go, oh, you invest in gold. I didn't know that. What do you buy? And to say, oh, I spent this amount on this massive bar or this massive gold coin, it's going to scare them and they're going to go, oh, whoa, I'm not spending 1,600 quid on a piece of gold that's just going to sit there, because they're new, they're trying to figure out what's good for them. They don't even understand precious metals. So I think the reason fractional gold is good, it allows new investors to dip their toes, so to speak, into the environment of precious metals and gold and silver without feeling overwhelmed and overbeared in terms of spending a ridiculous amount of money on something that really they don't fully understand. So yeah, I love fractional gold for all those sort of reasons, and who knows, maybe in the future when I'm feeling maybe a bit flush with cash, maybe, just as a one way to put it, maybe I'm at one time in the future, maybe I'm going to buy another 1 ounce gold Britannia, for example. And maybe I think, oh, I've got another 400 and so pounds left over. What am I going to do with it? Well, that leftover money is only going to go in the savings account, which is going to devalue if I leave it there for a few months or a few years. I might as well just bang it into some gold. Because what some people forget is, and when I say some people, I don't mean the seasoned stackers and investors like most of you guys watching and us content creators. We know that really all you're doing when you're buying gold is you're taking money from one area of your life, your savings, and you're just putting it into another area, into what we call an asset. So you're never actually spending money when you buy gold bullion. You're just transferring that cash, which has weak and no security to it, and then you're moving it to an asset that is extremely strong and very safe. So you're not really even spending money, because if you were spending money, you'd spend that money and then you wouldn't be able to get those items back and the value back, if that makes sense. Whereas when you buy gold, as we know, that gold is still there. The value is in that gold, and you can sell it and recoup that cash if you want. But of course, as we know, with precious metals and more so speaking gold, you leave that for a long time, and that X amount of money that you've then invested into gold has increased. So not only has it protected your finances just from thinking, well, I don't really want to leave it in the savings account, you're actually increasing your wealth. Now, I say gold is an investment, and there's a lot of people that say, whoa. Gold isn't an investment. It's not going to give you a cash flow income. It's not a form of, it's not, what do they call it, passive income, where, like property will pay you a passive income on return. Gold is an investment in terms of hedging against inflation. It protects your wealth, and then at the same time, if it increases in value, that's a bonus. So, I think you should look at investing in gold as a hedge against inflation. So it's a security device to protect your finances. So your value is never going to devalue. But at the same score, when economic crisis hits, or like the earthquake that's happened in Turkey, the Ukraine and Russia war that's going on in the moment, all this crazy stuff about Chinese spy balloons and UFOs, that all affects gold, and it also affects fiat currency. So you don't even have to worry, because you've took your cash that's over here and you've gone, I don't need to worry, because all of my cash is over here in this lovely pile of gold. And it's protected, it's safe. And that's why I love gold. And in terms of fractional gold, I think it's great, because you can be extremely liquid if you need to be. Now, most investors are probably quite comfortable. Actually, I think that's unfair. Not all investors are comfortable. There's people out there who do invest who haven't got as much money. But, either way, if you've got money, it's nice to have something that's liquid, that doesn't lose you a huge investment when you go to sell it. And also at the same score, if you're not somebody that has a lot of money but you do have some fractional gold, it's nice because it's a backup when you need money. So I think there's an argument for both sides and pretty much is a win-win. So yeah, I'm not planning on buying any more fractional gold, but who knows what the future could hold. I've got plans of buying bigger gold and precious metals, but as you can tell, I'm still a big fan of fractional. I'm just going to try and separate my focus away from fractional gold now and move on to bigger things. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please let me know what you think about fractional gold in the comments below. Until next time, I'll see you then. Bye bye, guys. To watch another episode on fractional gold, click the link now.